Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera Show. I'm so thrilled to have Jenny Brule from Charlotte back with me for another episode. You know, Jenny was here with us during the holiday season and we had such great response to your show. Obviously, people are loving the recipes from your cookbook and we just feel like, you know, we needed to bring you back for spring.
I'm so glad to be here.
Talk about some things that might be great for entertaining during this time of the year. So tell us what we're going to be making today out of the book.
Okay, from the book today, we're going to be making a classic fruit cobbler, which I think everyone loves.
Absolutely.
And then a savory vegetable cobbler with a quinoa crust. It's a little bit different. It's a twist on the classic cobbler.
Well, and to that point in the book, when you say three ways, it's traditional, contemporary, and international. And I need to know a little bit more about the international part. So I thought, you know, these recipes sound like a brunch to me. And I absolutely, that is my favorite time of day to entertain. Used to always want to get people to do that for weddings, but I thought I would throw in a salmon salad with the lemon balsamic. So we're going to get started on the cobbler first. So I'm going to get that pan greased with a little coconut oil while you get started on the veggies.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll macerate these vegetables, and what that means is I'm going to put a little bit of salt on them, and it's going to draw the liquid out, their natural juices, and then they're going to soak and sit in their own juices. Now I've done that already with these, but I'm going to show you how.
It is like they've almost cooked.
Yeah, well, salt is a way to cook anything. I mean, that's jerky is salted, you know, that's salt and heat and acid can all cook vegetables and proteins. So it's just a matter of just kind of combining these so the salt is on all of the vegetables. And then these are the ones I've done, and they've released so much liquid. I'm going to squeeze some of the liquid out, which actually secretly when I'm done with this, I'll probably drink it because it's just like a really yummy vegetable juice.
Wow, yes.
But it's gotten tons of the liquid out, and then they'll be ready to go into our cobbler.
Well, and let me ask you, you know, I just greased this pan with the coconut oil, and for those folks that have not used that before, you know, it's solid.
Yes.
Where all of your oil is at the grocery store, it's just a solid ingredient. We're going to be using it again in this recipe in the melted state.
Exactly right.
Okay, so now you want me to start with the crust down here, right?
Yes, yes.
And this is a crazy looking thing
Yeah,
here.
so that's quinoa. And quinoa has the look and the kind of the texture of couscous, but it's actually a seed.
Ooh,
and it's a complete protein. It's a really healthy alternative to gluten. It's gluten-free.
Okay.
So it's great, and I do a lot of different crusts with quinoa.
But we're kind of adding some gluten to it because I just put a little bit of flour in there. I'm going to add in Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, so that's going to give it some savory notes, and that's baking powder. So this is the way you do a classic cobbler crust. You do baking powder, flour. We're going to add some fat, some milk. So it's very similar. It was just we're using savory ingredients.
Well, and this, you know, I think what people have found from this, and now we're going to add the milk and the melted oil in that order, is that, you know, go out of your comfort zone. This whole twist to the traditional recipe is what's making this an interesting book for folks, is because, you know, we all get in a rut with the ingredient that we like, but, you know, a different way to prepare it is always nice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Like you said, you called it. This is a great brunch dish, but it's nice for dinner also with a salad.
I just love the way it looks.
It is. It's a funny. Well, so quinoa comes in several different colors. I mean, there's something like 1,600 different types of quinoa, but this is a tri-colored quinoa, so it's black, red, and white.
Okay,
quinoa.
now that just goes directly in the pan. Oh, love it. And just spread that out?
Yep. Kind of smooth it out.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm going to toss with these vegetables, I'm going to toss in some quartered artichokes. Now these are canned, so there's no need to cook them. Some green onion.
Yum.
Yum, I love green onion. And then some chopped fresh tarragon. And if you don't like tarragon, you can use whatever you like.
Okay, so now you're going to mix that up and we're going to top it here.
That's right.
So we've got a little bit to do during the break, but when we come back, we're going to get started on the salmon salad.
Perfect.
So I'm going to help you get this finished and we'll get this in the oven. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining me, I'm with my friend Jenny Brule from Charlotte, and we're doing recipes out of her book,
Learn to Cook 25 Southern Classics 3 Ways.
And I am learning some ways myself, and I'm really enjoying this book, Jenny. And while we were away during the break, you finished the savory cobbler.
Yep, we finished it up, put the vegetables on top, and popped it in the oven.
Oh, and it smells fantastic in here. All right, so my little twist to all of this is because I thought the recipes we were doing today really spelled brunch to me. So I thought nothing's better than a salmon salad, and we're going to do a nice vinaigrette that you're going to put together for us, and I've got some pretty greens. So we're going to get started with these beautiful fillets. And you know, in our area and in most of the areas, you know, if you don't have access to fresh fish, or if you don't have a fresh fish market, that's a tongue twister. Fresh market always has it. Salmon is always great. They run great sales on Saturday. The seafood department is always so helpful if you're looking for things. So I went and picked that up. I'm just going to put a little bit of kosher salt on top. Do y'all cook fish a lot at home?
All the time. Fish and poultry are mainly what we eat.
Yeah, I love it. And then a little tricolor ground pepper on top.
Fresh ground pepper is so delicious, isn't
I
it?
know, and I mean, I love the way it smells too when even when you're grinding it. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
And Jenny, I am really showing off the steam oven, the Wolf steam oven that is part of my kitchen.
I'm so
and
jealous.
So I love using it. So that's what we're going to use today. So I'm topping this with some lemon, and then I'm going to walk over to the oven with my pan. So, all right, so we're going to put it in. And you know, the nice thing about these appliances is that they talk you through it like use and care for every single reason. So I'm putting it on the first rack. I'm going to hit mode and put it on steam. Then I'm going to turn my temp down to 185 and hit OK. And in just a few minutes, that steam is just going to start riveting through there and just cooking that salmon about 10 to 12 minutes is going to be great.
That's like a restaurant.
I know.
That's amazing.
I mean, it is, I just cannot wait for you to try it. All right, so now I've just got some arugula greens, and while I'm tossing this up with some toasted pine nuts and tomato, I'm going to ask you to get started. And another one of my appliances that I love is my Wolf Gourmet blender.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
So if you want to go ahead and get started on
the vinaigrette.
On the vinaigrette.
Yeah, this is such a great recipe, Vera, because you're using both lemon juice and balsamic vinegar. So it's got that sweetness and that acidic quality. And then garlic. Do you love garlic?
I love it.
I do too. A little too much. As long as we all eat it.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
And then this Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard is such a good balancing agent for like all sorts of dishes.
And look at these pine nuts.
Those are perfectly toasted. I put in the salt now, and then I'm going to whiz this up, and the salt will be dissolved by the acid before I put the olive oil in.
Okay.
Listen how quiet this is. It's amazing.
See, we're still talking and everybody's not screaming.
Yes, this is a great machine.
Not to mention all the different things that it can do.
Oh yeah. Smoothies and...
Well, and you know, I think a lot of people shy away from trying to make dressings themselves. So you can really get a great restaurant style feel to this. And you know, dressing is a great gift too, because people love salad and they don't want to make the dressing. And
homemade dressing is so much better than jarred, I think.
Well, we've saved one of the best parts of the whole show to next, and that's your fruit cobbler.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. So y'all come back with us in just a few minutes. We're going to get started on that as we wrap up this delicious salad.
Vera's Corner is brought to you by South State Bank.
Do you ever get hungry for something like a really great salmon salad? Well, you know, the greens are easy, the dressing is easy, but the salmon could be problematic. Well, I've got a great, easy way to poach salmon. Start with a large resealable bag and your salmon fillet. Season the fillet with salt and pepper, then place the salmon in the bottom of the bag. I'm going to add a few slices of lemon to the salmon, since citrus and fish pair very well together. Roll the salmon in the bag to push out all of the extra air, then seal the bag. Lower the salmon into a large, deep skillet with simmering water. Allow the salmon to cook until flaky, about 8 minutes for medium rare. Cut open the bag with a sharp knife, then gently slide the salmon fillet out. Place on a bed of greens, top with some fresh herbs, a little vinaigrette, and you've got a refreshing salad for any time of the year. I tell you, Jenny, I'm having the best time.
Me too.
You know, your recipes are just so much fun because it takes normal things that we make all the time and you're throwing in all these new and different ingredients.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that, and I know the audience does as well. And I know for me, I've made 1,000,000 peach cobblers, a zillion blackberry cobblers, and now you're telling me use all your favorite berries.
Yeah, use them all together. They're so pretty.
Are these beautiful?
Those are gorgeous.
And so we're going to throw in a little bit of cinnamon.
And this recipe works with whatever fruit you like. You know, whichever fruit is ripe. In the summer, use peaches, like you said. You know, use what you love.
And some brown sugar.
Yeah. And that's going to macerate those berries, which is going to help draw out their natural juices, and then they'll kind of soak in their juices. It will intensify their natural flavors.
Well, they couldn't be any prettier fruit than this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now you're going to work on the custard.
I'm going to make the batter.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have flour here. I'm going to add sugar. I'm going to put all my dry ingredients in first. A little bit of baking powder and some salt. And you always want to balance sugar with salt. Some people sometimes leave it out, but it's also a chemical reaction that you're looking for.
Right.
So you really can't leave out the salt.
Did I get enough butter in the pan?
Yeah, I think you did.
I think I did.
Woo!
I love butter in my cobbler.
I love butter, period. So that's just mixed up, and then I'm going to add in milk, and again, this is the classic recipe, so this is just, probably everyone's made one of these, and then some melted butter, and it shouldn't be too hot, the butter.
Okay.
And I'll just whisk that together. And this, don't you think cobblers are about the easiest desserts you can make?
Well, it's the easiest thing, and you know, everybody loves it. I mean, my family loves it. Some of them want whipped cream on it, some of them want vanilla ice cream,
Yep.
some of them like it just plain.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like leftover cobbler for breakfast.
I agree. Almost as good as cold pizza.
Well, I don't know about that.
You're beyond that?
I'm beyond that.
Oh, I forgot my
Okay.
vanilla, sorry.
Yeah, put
A
that
tiny
in.
bit of vanilla.
I'll move this pan forward. So this one, if you want to make a larger, then you would double that recipe. And
Yep.
of course, all of the recipes are in Jenny's book, which we're going to actually offer on our website for sale. And then we're also going to have them on our website at VeryVera.com, along with my little recipe that I threw in for the lemon vinaigrette
Can't wait to try
dressing. Okay, so now the fun part.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to put the berries or whatever fruit you choose on top, and it's really interesting because the batter comes up over it. And it's just so pretty.
I mean, this looks like the 4th of July
Yeah, I guess it does,
dessert
doesn't
for
it?
sure, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with whipped cream, white whipped cream, that would look
Well,
so
back
pretty.
during the election, we did make cake great again.
Yeah.
So this would be a great dessert to serve during election time as well.
Sure. Very
So-
patriotic.
Okay, so this is going to go in a 350.
I think it's 375.
375.
Yeah.
And my convection double bake is really going to play a number on this batter because, as you said, it's going to lift up. And one of the features of that oven is because of the blower technique. Anything that's baked, and you know that's my love.
Yeah, I know.
You know, for those of you, Jenny actually helped me
Yeah,
years
I worked for
ago
you. Yes.
during the Masters Golf Tournament.
Yep.
So she and I have quite a long history going back forward. So we're going to get this in the oven, and then when we come back from the break, I cannot wait to lay everything out.
Yeah.
We're going to decorate it. We're going to serve it up, do a little bit of tasting. So come back with us in just a few minutes.
Great.
excited.
I know.
I know. I mean, you know, Jenny, I love brunch, and this is beautiful.
It is.
Before we even start plating anything, and we just had such a great time today. So just kind of recap, you know, what we've done. We started with the vegetable cobbler.
Yep, vegetable cobbler with a quinoa crust. It's a healthy version of a cobbler. It's savory. It's a really nice vegetarian option.
I mean, that is picture perfect. Okay, then I jumped in and we did the salmon.
Amazing.
In the steam oven. And I mean, unbelievable. Just watching the steam effect going in the oven, and then you open the door and the steam is everywhere, and it's just like it is perfectly poached.
It's perfect, but you know what? You don't smell the salmon. A lot of people don't like to cook salmon at home. You don't smell it.
I mean, you know, so like you said, the house, it doesn't smell like we've been cooking fish all day long. So that's beautiful. And then we just mixed up the greens, made this fantastic dressing that you did for me. And then finally, we ended with
This is a classic berry cobbler. So I think we use blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries.
I just cannot wait. So if you've got entertaining, if you're coming up with a bridal shower or a baby shower, or just having friends over after church or something, nothing better than this menu right now. All right, so let's get started on the plating, and I'm going to start with the salmon. And so because we didn't grease the pan, I'm hoping.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yay, Vera! That's perfect.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, just love it.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to pull the lemons off, and we can use those for garnish. And then for this piece, I'm going to do a third for each salad. Oh, wow.
Wow. That is perfectly cooked. That looks like you're in a restaurant.
Let's toss up this salad with the dressing. And less is more when it comes to dressing. That, you know, dress a little bit and then go back.
You can always add
So
more.
we're going to do this as salad and vegetable cobbler on the same plate. So let's put a little bit, and then I'll get you going
so
on the. That is
pretty?
so pretty. You know, and it's everybody's favorite thing to order. You know, out for lunch is a salmon salad.
And it's easy to do at home, especially if you have good equipment. My goodness.
Look at that.
Wow. That is beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to eat that.
I
In fact,
know.
I may eat this right here. Oh my gosh.
Is it perfect?
It is so good.
Well, I'm just going
Perfect flavor.
I'm going to dish up this, the quinoa crust vegetable cobbler.
And there's nothing worse than overcooked fish, and look at that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you can get, the way you do this is that you go ahead and make your individual, so if you were doing this on a buffet, you could go ahead and have it separated that way.
Yeah, you could cut it into quarters.
Wow, okay, so there's our little place setting. And now you're gonna get started. Oh my gosh,
I'm
I can't
gonna
wait.
dish up the fruit cobbler. And
I
we have
want the
some
biggest
fresh-
ramekin. Oh my God, ooh.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
Okay.
And you have to have whipped cream.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh,
That's
wow.
gorgeous.
You know, and while you're dipping up yours, I'm going to jump in. So, you know, when you're doing this sort of thing, of course, having the cobbler, you know, ready to go like this, and having a warming drawer that you can keep it in.
Yep.
So this can be done earlier.
Is it good?
I won't be able to finish the show if I stand here and eat this the entire time. You know, nothing better than a cup of coffee, of course at brunch too. And you know, if you don't have a local roaster, of course I always support my local businesses on things like that. But if you don't have one, Fresh Market always has. You know, you walk in there and you smell people, you know, grinding their coffee beans. So you know, I highly recommend, you know, them if you don't have a local roaster, you know, nearby for that. So in terms of, you know, with me, Jenny, being as busy as I am, and I know you are too, and you've got 4 daughters at home, and everybody's going in a million different directions, you know, what here can we make in advance?
Gosh, well, both the cobblers you can make in advance.
Right.
And then just, heat them in the oven a little bit, or like you said, put them in a warming drawer. But if you don't have a warming drawer, just heat them up for a little bit longer in the oven. Also, you could do
I'm not hearing a word she says right now.
You could steam the salmon and serve it cold if you were worried about that.
That's
cold,
true.
I mean, salmon is good. Hot, cold, poached, baked, doesn't matter.
Well, we have got some great recipes here for you to try. And with Jenny's cookbook, which is Southern Classics, 3 different ways. If you don't try these recipes, I'm coming to your house. I mean, unbelievable, just different things. We're always looking for different things. Jenny, I just cannot thank you enough.
Thank you.
You've been so popular when you were on with us before. I encourage you to look for Jenny if you're looking for a great speaker or anything else. We've got her information. So no matter what you do it in good taste, and I'm going to be tasting this cobbler for the rest of the day. Thank you for coming, and you come back and join me next week for another episode of the Very Vera Show.
To see what's cooking with the Very Vera Show, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.